Good morning, traders. Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we jump onto the charts, make sure you read what's on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. I'm just an idiot here yapping on YouTube for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like code RDF, Top 1 Futures, Bookmap, and more. Let's hop on to the charts. Good morning, good morning. What's going on, y'all? What's up, Wolf, Raj, Andrew, Nate, Ralph, what's up? Chuck, Jess, Neo, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Doing good, guys. Doing good. Let's get this tab shared. Boom. We are open here. 9:30 a.m. Eastern, NYSE open here on this beautiful June 30th. Last day of the month, right? Tomorrow is the 1st. Let's make sure that I'm not completely tripping out. Yeah, tomorrow's the 1st. So we got an interesting week, man. Really interesting week in these markets. Shaping up. We've got a holiday week. We'll pull up Forex Factory in a second and talk about that. But let's jump out to the daily real quick. Again, if you guys are new, this is the Project X platform. We're here on Top 1 Futures. We are copy trading a 7-pack of 150K straight to funded Sim Pro accounts. Looking to do some damage in these bad boys. Which really means trade them conservatively and slowly towards some payouts with the goal of really getting moved live, right? Trading well. Posted a couple videos on that over the weekend. I'll talk about that. Kind of the prop firm space, what I see as a good opportunity and not so much as a good opportunity. This is extremely bullish. Let's talk markets first. This is extremely bullish. I'd be hard-pressed to say that this is a downtrend or that we've been selling off. I think we could agree that price is continuing to push to the upside, cracking, running all-time highs, man. This is just really gnarly. We've sold off on tariff news all the way back into the beginning of April. That got crazy down here, a lot of volatility. And since then, coming all the way through the end of Q2, right? This is the end of the first half of the year. We are pushing all the way up. If I zoom all the way back, right? This is February, all-time highs, December here. Here we are, all the way back up top. So this is it's been a pretty wild ride, dealing with a lot of craziness, a lot of volatility, headline markets, just wild whips and volatility here on ES. This is the ES chart, again, on Project X with Top 1 Futures. Zooming back into the 1 minute, my preferred trading time frame, just taking a look at what we've got going on. We opened up gap up with actually a physical gap. If I zoom in here, you can see it. The VWAP line does overlay it a little bit, but we've got a physical gap up. This is our overnight low, lowest point that we put in since Sunday open, 62.23-ish. We pushed to the upside, continued that through Asia and London. Really held Asia and London. Held above VWAP here all the way into the open. Now we were selling off back down towards Friday's high. Do we run back down towards this overnight low level? Maybe. Maybe. But overall, obviously looking very, very bullish. You know, if we look at what happened the last couple days of the week, last week, really just hitting the buy button at any point would have been a good play. On any type of a pullback, just finding a way in long probably would have been a solid play. Here we are testing prior day high. Let's take a look. Looking at Bookmap, pretty wild on the book, man. We've got not a lot of that algorithmic stuff moving around, but we've got a big stack of orders that have been following price. So we had like two 500, like 400 some odd lot orders at 253 and 257 before this opened up. Now looking at it, which I'll throw up on the screen here in just a minute, we've got like 1,000 lot getting moved around, literally 1,000 lot, which is really wild. I will show you guys this in a minute here as we start to open up. But yeah, if you don't know me, I like to stay patient off the open. I don't like to jump in the first couple of minutes, first couple seconds of NYSE open. Here we are 4 minutes into the open. So I do like to let this thing open up at least 10 minutes. At least 10 minutes. That's my really like line in the sand. I know if I'm getting involved at 9:34 the way it is right now, I did something wrong. I shouldn't be doing that. My data just does not support me jumping directly in off of the open. There's plenty of traders that do it and do it well. Maybe you are one of them. I find it very volatile, and I think it can just set me up for a not so great trading day if I just jump directly in, take back-to-back losses, which I've done before here live with you guys. And yeah, just not a great move sometimes. So let me just go ahead and throw this bad boy. YOLO it to the downside, Wolf says. Yeah. Good morning, good morning. What's going on? What's going on? Take it one day at a time. Summer's good. Been making money. Keep your success rolling with the sim. I think you guys are talking back and forth. Yep. What's going on, Christy? Brian, what's up? What's up? Nice. XFA is payout eligible, sitting at 1,600. Take a payout, bro. Pay yourself. Get paid. That's usually my 2 cents if somebody's payout eligible. Pay yourself. So let's take a look at forexfactory.com. That's my preferred news site. I do check Financial Juice if I really want to see what's going on to the second, right, to the moment. We're pretty clear. We've got a couple low impact news events, a couple things coming out, some FOMC speakers. Not a lot to worry about today, in my humble opinion. Starting tomorrow through the rest of the week, it gets a little bit dicey. And here's what I mean. We've got Jerome Powell speaking, Fed chair, at 9:30, at the open. And then we have red folder news events at 10 a.m. That sucks. That sucks for me who trades NYSE open. Not so bad on Wednesday, but it is non-farm employment change. So this could be a pretty big market mover and then set the market up just for not so great trading. Not going to complain. Going to show up to trade both these days. Thursday and Friday, I'm probably not going to trade. I'm not so sure about Thursday because we have actual NFP on Thursday at 8:30, and then we have a bank holiday, complete bank holiday on Friday. This is an early close. So U.S. stock market closes at 1 p.m., bonds close at 2 p.m. That's Eastern Standard. So I think this could just make for a dicey week, man. It's last day of the month, first day of the new month here. Again, kind of a larger close, right? Halfway through the year. And then we do have large, high-impact news events coming into the middle of the week with a holiday. And then we also have some wild tariff stuff that's supposed to be coming into the beginning of next week. So it's a whole lot of nothing new. The market's been really wild, really all over the place. So for me, I really don't like to have trades on right through red folder news events. If I could avoid running a trade into a red folder news event, I will. I try to be cautious around Jerome Powell speaking, that type of stuff. So this could be dicey. Again, going to look to trade it. I'm obviously not going to trade on Friday, not even able to. And then Thursday, I'm cautious. Right before and after an early close, after an NFP, unemployment, I don't know. Probably not great trading opportunities. That's just my humble opinion. So I'll see if I'm just going to write Thursday off and go hang out with the family. But Monday through Wednesday, we'll be here, 9:30 a.m. Eastern trading. Probably get something rolling on Thursday, but we'll see. Tentative. We'll see how the beginning of this week starts. So market's starting to open up. Sold off, swept prior day high. Looking at this to kind of chop around. Again, bias is long. I think, I've been hitting the sell button and doing okay, but the bias is long just based on what we've been doing through, the higher time frame, through the daily sessions. But here on the low time frames, I'm very flexible. I stay on bias. I trade the chart in front of me. I'm not looking for huge price movements. Don't need a lot to make money on these movements with, some minis on. So we can go long, we can go short. How many times is Uncle Pal going to yap? Yeah, man, a lot, unfortunately, a lot. So, but yeah, testing some streaming. We're streaming across a bunch of different platforms here, man. YouTube, Twitter, X, and Kick. Got Kick set up, streaming across that one as well. Let me go ahead and throw the banners up. Boom. It's last day. While we're waiting for the market to open up again, just 8 minutes in. Nothing for me to do yet. While we are hanging out here, I'll show you this tab. Last day for this. 55% off. Copy trading 5 of the Sim Pro. This drops to 25%, I think, tomorrow across the board. So 55% off. Today's the last day. Code RDF gets you the best deal. Better than what's in the email, what's on the site, what you get on any of the other promotions. 55% off the straight to funded Sim Pro. You can copy trade up to 5 of those bad boys. Top One Futures celebrating $9 million. I think they've almost paid out $10 million. They're rounding a quarter in the future side here, 90 days. So pretty solid. I think that's a solid achievement. But if you don't, if you're dead broke, you don't want to pay for anything, I'm giving out 50K straight to funded accounts here. Maybe we got one coming up later. I don't know. You guys know the drill. You got to hang out. But we got multiple 50Ks being given away here on stream every single week. Shout out Top One Futures. Happy to have that support. So that's awesome. Stay tuned. Maybe someone's going to get funded. How that one works is no purchase necessary. I'll let you guys know when it's coming. We get the likes up. We drop a form. You fill it out, basic contact info, and random number selector. Somebody gets picked for a straight to funded account. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. So watching this market test prior day high, sold off, tested prior day high. Not really enough for me to start looking long on this. Again, Bookmap's looking real dicey with 1,000 lot getting moved around. Let me show you guys Bookmap. I could see this. I could see this on a test of overnight low, right? If we come back down, fill this gap, or get close to it, I could see this long from down here. This might be all we have to do before we just run the highs. Kind of what we did Thursday and Friday last week before we sold off here on Friday and then recovered. But I could see this long from down off like the 25s, let's say. Wouldn't mind something like that. Cracking those 30s and giving me a good way to structure risk. But let's take a look. Show you guys what I'm looking at on Bookmap, which is just really wild. Really wild. 1,000 lot order getting moved around. It does look like spoofing. It doesn't look like it wants to get filled. I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. So hang tight. Let's go ahead and get Bookmap pulled up. This is Bookmap. This is my favorite order flow tool. We are looking at live liquidity in the markets, level 2 data. This is a subscription. Link should be down below the video somewhere. I'll throw it in chat in a minute if you want to check it out. Got some discounts with Bookmap as well. But this is what I'm talking about. Big order, and you can actually see by this little tool here that it looks like it's a 1,000 lot order getting moved around. And this to me looks like spoofing now, because we had a couple orders up here that got pulled like right into the open. You can see 9:30 a.m. I was talking about this. That got pulled right into the open. And then we got a 1,000 lot on the book getting moved around. That looked like it wanted to get filled, right? But right as we got close here, it got pulled and then moved, 5 points higher. So to me, this looks like BS. Why would someone want to do that? Multiple reasons. Technically, you're not legally allowed to do that. You're not allowed by the exchange to put orders in without the intention of having them filled. But that's what spoofing is, manipulation, right? It's talked about in a lot of different ways, which is a real thing on order flow on Bookmap. If you're reading a DOM, that can be interesting to look at. But that's kind of making it as difficult to work with, right? Outside of that, if we just completely ignore it, we got the 6255s, which has been on the book for a while. That looks legit. We've got down here the 6235s, about 100 on the book down here. And then another 100 down here to the 6230s. So this is kind of what I'm looking at if we sold off really aggressively. Maybe coming down here. Now, if we continue to sell off really aggressively, we go to close that gap. That is 62.23 and a quarter. That's what I have it on ES as. I think we're coming all the way down to the 20s, right? Another nice stack of orders down here. Negative cumulative volume delta. Been talking a little bit more about CVD. It was really interesting to watch on Friday. Price rose on a very, very negative cumulative volume delta that continued to drop. And what happened as we started to, put those highs in, that got aggressively more negative and price sold off. I think it's like any other tool. Doesn't work all the time. I think it can work at for, against you. Depends on how you use it. But it is something that I've been watching on the side for a long period of time. And I'm going to start to pay a little bit more attention to, right? Are we declining on a declining CVD? As we start to bottom out in a certain area, do we see buyers step in and really start to outweigh sellers by way of volume? That CVD starts to jump. what happens after that, right? You know, these types of things maybe can be useful, right? It is a volume read. You can read that just on traditional volume. You can read it on different volume tools the way that you might like to, but that delta can be interesting to pay attention to. This is anchored to 7 a.m., this CVD, which does matter, right? What information are you taking into that? So I like to start my Bookmap up around 8 o'clock. Give me an hour before that of data and then run in. So yeah, I'm just kind of watching these 35s. Here we are back down below prior day high where we found some buyers here. We're putting the 15-minute opening range in. This is interesting. Y'all. Let me take a look. I'll bring you back over to my main screen. There we go. Back over to the main screen. So here we are back down around lows. It's looking weak so far. You know, if I had to come off a level of structure, where would I say we might find some buyers? You know, if I am looking at structure, there's not a whole lot looking left to the downside more than the upside, right? Down here, right down around this gap, down here around overnight low where we consolidated a bunch of times, maybe down here again around the 20s. That would be 20 points off price right now. So that would be a pretty big move to the downside. I don't know that we do that. This is looking like buyers want to take it up here. So going to be watching to see what happens, but this is not really a buy setup for me. This is, it's not terrible if you want to just start getting long on it. But this isn't a buy setup for me just yet. There's just really not enough opportunity for a back to VWAP type of a movement, right? You know, we're less than 5 points off of VWAP right now. I get cautious around areas, of high volume, around that volume weighted average price. That's what I like to target for a reversion kind of move. So that's just not a great opportunity. And it didn't pull back. It didn't, sell off far enough. If we came down and hit the 30s and we put this type of structure in, I would definitely be looking at this long. So this is a sit patient right now. Kind of just watch what starts to happen. If you've watched my trading before, I like off of the open. I like to buy off the lows, sell off the highs, reversion style trade back down towards or up towards an area of high volume. So I'll have to wait and see on this one. We'll hang out. Hair's looking fresh. Appreciate. Yeah, I need a cut, man. It's not that fresh. What indicator is that? What indicator is what, BJR? You let me know what you're looking at, and I'm happy to break it down and describe it to you, give you all of the details. If you were looking at the crazy heat map colored tool, that would be Bookmap. I'll throw that one in the chat. I'm assuming that's what you were asking. If you want to check out Bookmap, that would be the link in chat to check out Bookmap. Again, I'm partnered. I'm affiliated. Important for me to note that. You don't have to use Bookmap if you want to read order flow. You could use a traditional DOM. You could use a number of different softwares and platforms, but I do like Bookmap. I think that one's pretty solid. Ah, nice. I finally can see the Bookmap. I can finally see the YouTube dashboard. Watching this thing just kind of chop down here around price. I wanted to find a way to do this while I'm using StreamYard, so nice. Nice. We got 32 of you guys on here this morning. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you guys being here, as always, man. As always. If you're new, again, I stream here on YouTube and now everywhere else. We're gonna be platformed across the board, streaming everywhere. That's the game plan. Make this easy for you guys. 100% free, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, almost every damn day. And I run a 100% free trading Discord. I'd be more than happy to have all you guys in. I don't claim to be the best trader in the world. Not even close. Don't claim to have it all figured out. No crazy leaderboards and magic system and approach that's going to make you $1 zillion if you just give me, some of that $1 zillion. None of that stuff. Just a regular idiot looking to turn a profit in the markets. That's my MO. So let's watch what starts to happen here, man. Interested to see. chopping down here around prior day high. Looking like buyers don't want to let this thing run lower just yet. That 1,000 lot's continuing to be moved around. It's now up at the 42, 62.42, so like not far off of price. I think that's a bunch of BS. Looks like we're still selling off. I don't think we're pulling back up just yet. I want to see what happens at the 35s, the 30s. We got 109 on the book down here, 110. It's kind of chopping around, 120. Right below price at the 35s, and then nice round psychological number, the 30s. We have another stack of 100, and then again, a couple hundred down by 62.20. So this is looking weak so far. I'm not taking a continuation trade on this. I'm not looking to short this. I'd be looking to buy off of one of these levels down here. And again, earlier I said the 30s. That's still looking pretty good. I might try it off the 30s if we sell off into that. Trading the 36s. Let's see. Yeah, do we have this kind of correction type of day? We've just had bullish bar after bullish bar. Do we start to just sell off here? Is that kind of the play for today? This could be interesting to watch. Let's see what we get. This is an interesting one. It's feeling kind of weak. I'm looking for a potential reversion back to VWAP. This if we're going to sell off today, if we're really going to sell off today, I would still expect to pull back up. Yeah, Bookmap's looking dicey here. I'll show you guys this again. We had the orders at 35s now pulled right before we came back down into it. So this is looking like a lot of manipulation, like a lot of just stuff getting moved around. And when that starts to happen, I don't place as much weight on it. Yeah, there's a lot getting moved around. But I'm going to watch the 42s. That big order is still up there. I'm interested to see if anything fills there, or if this is indeed just going to be a bunch of BS and maybe we start to sell off a little bit further down to the 30s. But right now, I'd be looking long for a pop back up off the 30s. The 20s would be a much more aggressive spot to wait for, but I'm going to see what happens as we start to push back up here. We might not get anything on the way down. Let's see what the market's got for us. Again, pretty wild week. I'm not looking to just get crazy this week. Obviously, going to show up every day the way that I do. Wait for the market to come to me. We got a lot of news. We got holidays. We got end of the month, start of the month. I think it can be choppy. It can be crazy to deal with. But I think the important thing to note is to show up level-headed every day. Wait for the market to come to you. Act like a professional, manage risk, right? If you can do those things, you could start to turn a profit. Or maybe you stand a chance to turn a profit. If you show up on Monday unprepared, just jacked up out of your mind, ready to take trades, needing to put something on in the first, 10 to 15 minutes off the open, it's usually not a great way to start your week, in my humble opinion. I've shown up that way many times before, And doesn't seem to go too well. Really doesn't seem to go too well if I come in super hot-headed, super anxious, ready to just send it off the open. So Will says 150 off short. I'm out. Nice, nice from the movement. Looks like longs may pay off. Yeah, starting to bottom here a little bit, but I'm cautious. This still looks weak to me. I'm not going to try it long from up here. It would have to be on an aggressive push lower, and then I would aggressively try it long. And I'd say aggressively because we'd be selling off, right? And I'd be buying into that. We're down below VWAP. We sold off at the open. We're back down into Friday's range. I'm looking to long that. Why? First off, it's just a basic reversion style trade. But I do like the longs in this market. I would rather be hitting the buy button than the sell button. I said that last week multiple times, and I hit the sell button multiple times. But, it is nice to be going along with that much higher time frame trend all the way down to everything but what we're watching right here into NYSE Open. So let's see. Not pulling back up just yet. We start to get back up above the 40s, 42s. I think we're going to crack VWAP and maybe go trade out like the 50s again. This looks like, yeah, Wolf, I would agree. This looks like we want to start to bounce, but again, kind of just choppy. We sold off right to prior day high. Now we're just sitting down around here. Closest setup I got is looking long as we start to sell off a little bit further into some levels of liquidity on Bookmap. That's my initial play. That's my initial play. To fill some imbalances and come up. Yep. Looking from the big push-up area we had at the day. Yeah, for sure. Again, we might not do that. We might kind of just chop around. We've had a lot of movement out of these markets, right? A lot of movement. And usually, if we look at the daily, usually we don't just continue. If you just look at price action, right, and just basically, we don't typically just continue to print big bullish bar after big bullish bar, like none coming down to challenge prior day low and just immediately blast off the open like we've been doing. It doesn't usually happen for forever. Market can stay irrational longer than we can stay solvent. There's a saying that goes along with that. But no wick to the downside at all, opening up, gap up. We might just take off, but I could see this chopping around. I could see some cooling off happen. Again, we have some news coming out later this week. I could see some just kind of chopping around today. Maybe still forming a bullish bar, but I could also see a correction at some point. We don't typically move in one direction for forever on the higher time frames, right? So talking about that higher time frame can just give us a little bit of reference for maybe what we're in for on the lower time frames. I don't take that into too much consideration. Again, I look for my simple trades off of levels, but I like to be aware, right? Are we ripping to the upside the way that we are? Big bullish bar after big bullish bar. Maybe I don't want to just assume that I'm going to catch the top of that movement and we're going to sell off, 200 points. Like probably not so reasonable, right? But that's just kind of the way that I look at it. Pretty technical. Not a whole lot of fundamentals go into my trading outside of knowing what's coming up, where big financial news events are and when they are, and try not to run, heavy positions into red folder news. It's just not my forte, not my favorite thing to do. Let's see. Here we go. Back down around the lows. Is this going to be the push lower, or are buyers going to hold these high 30s here, high to mid 30s? Yeah, the 1,000 lot order moved around again. We came right up towards it to the 41s, and they pulled it. So that looks like a bunch of BS. It's gone now completely. I'm going to zoom out so I can see it. So we got some like kind of crazy looking manipulation on Bookmap today. This is looking weak, obviously, right? Just from market structure and price action. I'm not ready to get long on it from down here, but I will acknowledge this the same way that I did on on Friday, and I didn't get long on it. If you're looking for a long, right, and a way to structure risk off of the open, this is not a terrible move. You could give this thing, 10, 20 points to the downside and say, I think we're going to continue ripping. We're in a strong trend to the upside, and I'm going to start to get long on this from down here. I think we're coming back up to VWAP, and, I'm looking for a much larger movement than, just some little price action. I don't think that's a terrible play, right? You could say, I think we're going to bottom here. I don't think we're going to sell off. I don't think we're going to have a huge correction day. And maybe you don't go wide like that. You go, even tighter. Maybe you just allow for a couple points for a sweep below. This just isn't my play. These days, just not my setup. But again, I will acknowledge that would have played nicely. Almost the first retest of VWAP over the last couple days would have presented a nice buying opportunity to just send it to the upside. I still think we're going to come lower on this. I'm watching this chart. Excuse me. I still think we want to dip lower. I don't think bulls are ready to rip it yet. That said, I'm not getting short here either. Not a continuation play for me. All right, 1,000 lots back on. Here we go. It's right above price. I'm not showing you it nonstop because I do want to pay attention. If I take a trade, I like you guys to see the execution and the trade management. But we just came up, tapped right where it is, right at the 41s. Looks like they might want to actually get filled. I don't know. Don't know. End of the month, right? Could see some weird stuff on Bookmap. Wouldn't be crazy to have that going on. But while we're hanging out, watching this market, what's up? We got a bunch of people hopping on. What's happening, everybody? What's up, chat? Welcome to the show. We're live across platforms again today. IG is kind of weird. It's the only one that doesn't really work smoothly, so I don't know that I'm going to stream on IG, but YouTube, X, Kick, might add Twitch in there. Send it, man. But while we're hanging out, trying to come back up. Hold on. I was gonna come over here. Here we go. 1,000 lot on the book right above price. Oh, they pulled it again. Yeah, it's a bunch of BS. That's manipulation. Anybody watching the DOM? I don't know if anybody in chat watches depth of market, reads order flow, just looks at a traditional DOM. You could probably see it with not even MBO data, with level 2 data. But there's 1,000 lot that continues to get moved around. That was it right here. And as soon as we came right close to it, they popped it up a little bit. So I think that's just a bunch of BS. It can be done for multiple different reasons. I try not to speculate on why it is, but yeah, Andrew, yeah. It just looks weird. Again, when stuff like that, yeah, 62.43. Yeah, okay, we're seeing the same thing. When that starts to happen, I just kind of first off, I discredit that order. Whatever's going on there, I'm let me not pay attention to that. But I also am just cautious with the rest of the orders around it and kind of what's going on, because that could be just a lot of spoofing, right? Just a lot of manipulation. And when I've seen it before start to happen, sometimes I'll take a trade still considering that, and then everything will start getting moved around. I'm well, you should have probably just chilled out with Bookmap for a minute. Let whatever person's doing that just do whatever they're going to do, focus on price action and market structure, and and continue on. But yeah, that's interesting to watch. Really interesting to watch. Sitting down here around prior day high, consolidating. I don't have a setup. I really don't have a setup, guys. I'd look long on a sweep lower. I'd look really aggressively long on a 10-point drive lower into the 30s. I think that would present a really good way to structure risk. I think I would be dead wrong getting long on it if we just had a down day and sold off. But I don't love it from here. I don't. I think there's too much liquidity down below, like some of you mentioned, from a just market structure price action perspective, some of the imbalance and stuff down here. But just a gap, a physical gap, being open. So I would really like it off of the 30s to mid 20s. That would give me a better way to structure risk for a long play. We blast off from here. I'm missing it. That's my play. Nothing just yet. Let's see. But what I was getting ready to say is Link is in chat. Two things. One, last day for 55% off Top 1 futures. This is the last day for now. They run discounts all the time. I'm not going to say it's never coming back. I think they're probably going to have something coming up for 4th of July, right? But last day for right now, tomorrow, it is going to drop back to, I think, 25%. But it's 55% off the straight to funded Sim Pro accounts. You can copy trade up to 5 of these bad boys. The 50K account, which has a solid max loss limit to profit target ratio, is under the $200 mark. It's like 159. These are some difficult to trade accounts. They also have the standard instant funded with end of day trailing drawdown, no equity stability score, none of that fun stuff. If you want to check them out, link is in the chat. Along with that, this week, maybe today while we're hanging out, I don't know, we got 50K accounts to give away. Multiple 50K straight to funded accounts. These are not challenge accounts. These aren't free resets. You are getting funded. Somebody's getting funded. Got multiple of these to do. We got a short week, so we'll get some people funded. Don't have a ton of people on here today. And honestly, I like to do it when we don't have a ton of people on. I just like to be able to do it when we have a really good opportunity for somebody to win. So I'm not going to say it's today. We'll have to see. It's still early. I've only been on here for a little bit. But tune in. Again, no purchase necessary. You can subscribe so you know when I'm going live. But I'm giving away straight to funded accounts every single week on my live sessions. That's the play. Where's the banner? Where's the banner? There it is. Markets and bamboozle mold. Look, reading the chat for you guys. You may get burned both longs and shorts. Patience pays off more than strategy today, in my humble opinion. Yeah, I would agree with that. Quick question about Top Step profit split. Do you get 90-10, anything above drawdown buffer? Example, you make 5K on a 50K account, so 3K 90-10 split. Here we go, starting to come lower. No. The Top Step profit split, the last time I read about it, it's above a certain amount. So you make 5K on an account, and you can take out up to 50% of that 5K. They'll pay you $2,500. The profit split, I believe, I'll Google it real quick for you guys. Not really too up on Top Step these days. But let's get the answers for the chat. That was a quick wick lower. Didn't break the lows. I'm watching this chart, man. Not really giving me what I need for an entry, so I'm hanging out. Like Wolf says, patience pays. I'm looking to trade aggressively on here with you guys, but this is a whole lot of nothing. Whole lot of consolidation. Can we get the help center rolling with Top Step? There we go. Let's see. Profit split. I think it's after like something. It's after 10K or 20K or something. Yeah, I'll have to look at it. I don't remember exactly what it was. I thought it was after a certain amount. There it is. Okay. Traders will receive 100% of the profits up to $10,000. After the first $10,000 of funds have been received by the trader, the profit split will become 90-10, with the trader receiving 90% of the Top Step and Top Step retaining 10%. So there you go. That's it's per you too. It's cumulatively, not in like one account or something. So it's 90-10 after 10K of profits paid out for Top Step. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, choppy down here, guys. Choppy down here. Looking like buyers don't want to let it come lower. Again, that order's getting moved around. We got some liquidity down to the 30s. We didn't even sell off to grab that. This is pretty choppy up here. It's just not a lot for me. I think at this point, you could send it either direction, and it's not a bad opportunity to structure risk one way or the other. But I'm not looking to do that. I'm not looking to do that. Not a whole lot of direction out of this just yet. Not going to just burn capital. Not just going to burn capital as we are consolidating here, right? For the past, 30 minutes, 40 minutes here in a nice tight 8.5 point range here on ES. No need to go crazy, right? Maybe you are a range trader and that's beautiful for you. I congratulate you on all the money that you just made. Let's see what we got. What do we got, ES? A whole lot of nothing? A whole bunch of nothing today? Someone in my Discord says down day. Nice. Wolf making money. Very nice. Yeah, this is looking weak, man. I don't know about this one, guys. I don't know about this one. This is going to be dicey. This is going to be dicey, boys and girls. Here's my second play that's starting to form. We pull back up to VWAP, maybe even like the 50s. We pull like a really aggressive pop up and we sell right back off. I might sell this bad boy. I might fade this. Again, same kind of play, right? This would be more of a continuation. But if we consolidate here, we wick to the upside, take everybody out that got short down here with a stop loss up here, and then start to just drive right down lower, I think this thing may start to go. Again, that would give me a way to get short towards the 30s, the area that I'm looking to maybe get long off of, the 25s. I think if we don't find buyers here pretty damn soon, we are going to drive lower, but I'm not going to take it right out of consolidation with a stop loss right up at VWAP. But if we pull up here and then aggressively turn back down to the downside, that could give me a way to structure risk and get short. And I wouldn't mind that. So here we go. So let's see what happens. Do we drive right through VWAP and just send it to the upside? This is all that sellers needed to do, or are we ready to sell off after sweeping the top end of this this consolidation? That's what I'm curious to see here. Let's see. Welcome. We got a bunch of people on the stream. Appreciate you hopping on. Y'all are awesome. Thanks for hanging out with me here. We may or may not have a 50K account getting given away later today. Hang tight if you want a chance for that one. Trying to get a trade on. I'm still no trade. Not trying to get a trade on, just waiting for the market to come to me. I shouldn't say trying to get a trade on. But looking for a trade patiently. No real setup. Sold off the prior day high and chopped around. No real continuation. Was looking for a potential long on a sweep of lows back up. Now we pulled up, swept the high, and I'm looking for a potential short. I'm curious if we just find buyers right out of this zone, though. This could be dicey. $42s. Yeah, here's the VWAP bounce setup for a short. Let's see. Someone says, how do we enter? A formal drop in the chat. Smash the like button. Yeah, you know the drill. Got to get the likes up. That's when the forum drops. When we get enough likes on the stream, usually I let you guys know a little bit into it when we're getting ready to run it. Everybody can smash the like button and a formal drop, simple contact info, random number generator, and we get somebody funded. Yeah, so this is just not great price action, man. I think we might come back down through this. Really weak on CVD. Not a lot of volume behind this move to the upside. You could even see it on traditional volume. Yeah, I'd like one more like sweep up and a continuation lower. 42s have 118. Little crack up to the top end of this consolidation and then right back in. Is that all we're going to do here? Watch it. I'm eyeballing a short here, guys. I'm eyeballing a short.
Order filled.
I'm going to try this short from up here. Going to try this short from up here. Coming back down into this area consolidation. One contract. I can run it pretty wide with my little 500 point stop on this one. Really not growing CVD at all. Not a lot of volume behind this. It looks like price is chasing this spoofing 1,000 lot BS. I'm really not too concerned with that to the upside. I think we're coming down to the 30s, 25s, right? That's where I was looking to potentially get long off of. So I'm going to run this one short. Test a VWAP and then some continuation lower. Going to see if we can't get some selling pressure on this bad boy. We may have to pull all the way back up really aggressively. But if we come back up to the 50s, again, I just think I'm dead wrong on this play. It's going to be a test of this, a choppy session back and forth, and we are indeed not continuing lower. So this is more of a continuation play, right? Selling off into the open, consolidating, trying to push lower. Buyers not able to take it higher, staying below VWAP, and then starting to sell back off. Again, just looking at volume, CVD, where we have orders on the book. I like this to the downside, so I'm going to run it short. Again, not really off of an extreme, not the crazy reversion style play that I do like to run, but more of a continuation. This is just looking heavy, and we started to come out of that. Consolidation came right back in. We'll see if we need to drive higher. Given this thing plenty of room on a day like today, right? We got like an 8.5 point range here. I'm quite a bit outside of that. If we crack more than 5 points to the upside, again, go trade towards the 50s. I think I'm dead wrong. Really wide would be like way out here, but then I would really have to capture a large movement to the downside for this to make sense. So that's my play for today. We start to push to the upside. I don't have a short all the way up here. I liked it long from down here, but as we really started to look heavy, I didn't like it as much. So we'll see. We'll see if I have to take an L or if we might get something out of this one. In a short, there we go. Need the likes. Yeah. What's your ratio? I don't run a fixed take profit. That's a crazy take profit. We could literally take that off. That's like a last ditch effort to take me out of something if we just absolutely sold off. That would be the highest, but I dragged stop loss into profit. That's my play. No fixed take profit up until a really huge runner. I drag stop loss into profit as we start to move. So for this trade, for trade management, talk about that a little bit, which is what I like about putting a trade on. We got to break the lows. We're either breaking the lows and I'm coming into profit as we break the lows, or I'm taking a full stop out. One or the other. We break the lows, I'm either going to get stopped out for a small profit as I start to aggressively trail, and we really got to crack it by a little bit. I'm not gonna pull it right at this point. I'm not going to go break even. So it's either going to be a crack lower, continuation down towards the 30s, or a stop out. That's going to be the play. So trailing. Gotcha. Yep. Trailing in profit. Yeah, and again, this isn't, this structure isn't beautiful, guys, right? This isn't super duper clean. Super duper clean structure. I do like the way we rejected off of VWAP a second time. Watching CVD, cumulative volume delta, that we started to talk about a little bit more, continuing to decline. It's negative 6,000. That would indicate some sellers are attempting to take this thing lower. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Again, if we don't break these lows, right, here's where the trade would start to look not so great. I don't manage my trades with a lot of discretion. My entries, I apply quite a bit of discretion. I don't manage them with too much discretion. But if we start to, if we came down, maybe swept these lows and pulled right back up, if we pull right back up on this on high volume, that's going to look pretty ugly, right? Looks like buyers could want to take it higher at that point, just basing it on price action and market structure. But for me, I got a pretty mechanical, systematic way for me to manage these trades. It's one area in my trading that I wanted to get more consistent with, and it's helped me. It's definitely helped me. It's paid. I think if you can apply a lot of discretion and intuition across the board, it's helpful. The more intuition and discretion that you apply, the less consistent you are, and the more user error, right, that comes into play. So I do apply quite a bit to the entry itself to decide where I'm going to smash that buy or sell button, what that risk is going to look like. And then once it's on, I really try to stick to my guns and just go with something that works the best for me. But not going to be the best for everybody, right? Some people are going to say stop loss to break even is going to be good. Some people, it's not going to be good. Never touching it, right? Just letting it hit full take profit or stop loss is going to be best. Comes down to your data, right? Tracking your data. See a couple of y'all talking in Discord. I see nothing. Keep an eye for shorts. Yeah, this is, again, I agree. This is kind of choppy. Got someone down a little bit. Looks like in I'll watch that later. Whatever somebody posted here. Here we go. Sellers look like they want to try it. I didn't get my face ripped off on this one. Declining CVD. This looks good. This looks good. Let's see what we get here. Let's see what we get. Posted. All right, let me try not to get distracted. Posted a video on your Discord that I thought was funny was too funny to ignore. Watch when you have time. Yeah, we'll do. So here we go. Looking like it's trying to break to the downside. Like I said, I'm going to stick to my guns. If we just sweep the low and come back in, I'm wrong, right? We're not selling out, and I have to be wrong on this one. If that's the case, we held below VWAP. We're trying the low. This looks good. I want to see it come through, and really the area that I want to be cautious is all the way down here off the 30s. There we go. There we go. Let's see. Can we get some continuation here? Want to be cautious down here because we do have 144 on the book. I'm getting ready to drag this bad boy, but is that quite enough? Almost. Not quite. Not just yet. A little bit more continuation. Let's see if we can get a drive on this candle, and I'm going stop loss into profit. Going to be real tight behind price the way that I run this. If we continue, right? If we just sweep the lows and come back up, I'm just wrong, right? We're not going to drive lower. It's just a sweep down, and a buy play from down here, would have worked. That would have been it. But this one for me, yeah, I'm going to let this breathe. I try to be extra cautious on these accounts, guys. These are the intraday trailing drawdown accounts. So in a situation like this, my max loss limit has trailed now, right? To whatever that showed me, $250 in profit, whatever that is. If you allow a lot of trades to come into profit, maybe much farther because that's not that much dollar amount. If you allow them to come heavy into profit and then all the way back up on you, you really got to be cautious doing that because, you can just run yourself into the ground. You can run your max loss limit way into the ground. So hence the trailing drawdown does work really well with I'm not going to say work really well because this is my first time trading intraday trailing drawdown accounts, and I always like to be, objective and transparent about it. I'm not super confident about how these are going to work out. I'm trading all of my top 1 accounts now pretty dang slowly, right? This is a bigger conversation about just trading well, attempting to actually just trade well and not just playing the sim farming game. But I got to watch this bad boy. Sweep of the low and then right back up to consolidation. Let's see if sellers have it in them today. I don't know. It might just be a sweep of the low and then we're going to run highs. Again, I'm looking down to the 30s at least, if not the 25s. This just isn't enough for me. This just was not enough for me, right? I would be stopped for, maybe $150 in profit. I want to trail as we start to break the lows, but like I said, a nice break and closure down here would have done it. This was a quick wick down. Not enough for me. But this still looks okay. Even a pull all the way back up here, a sweep of the highs could be a really big dicey movement. Take everybody out that's selling the breakout down here, right? I'm not going to mind that, but I'm going to let this come back on me. This is fine for me. For me, right? You might be the stop loss to break even now. You might say, nope, grab profit, I'm out. I got to let this one attempt to move, right? Attempt to move. Let's see. If it breaks the low, will you move your stop? Well, you're watching it play out right now. I've been holding short since 7 minutes ago into the open, targeting prior day close 62.23 for a gap fill. There you go. Just made a nice 7-point trail times 1 on the 50K Pro. Very nice. What's sim farming? We will talk about that. We'll talk about that, rich boy. Bro, I always see the best setups when I'm out and can't trade. When I'm at my PC, nothing. Yeah. Yeah. 51 watching. Hit the like button, people. Yeah, smash the like button, guys. If you want this, here, ready? We'll throw it up. We'll throw it up now. I'm going to make you guys work for it a little bit today. I'm going to make you guys work for it. Hang on. Let me throw the banner up. How many people do we really have? Yeah, we got a bunch of you guys on here. I'll make it easy. But I'm going to stick to this one. I was nice on Friday, and I dropped it. I'm going to stick to this one. Here we go. Yeah, 50K account giveaway at 60 likes. If you guys can hit 60 likes on YouTube, we're dropping a straight to funded account giveaway. Free, somebody's going to get funded on the stream. We can't hit 60 likes. We'll see if we can hit 60 likes tomorrow. But if all of you hit the like button right now, I can see just on YouTube, we've had like 150 people cycle on and off. 137 it looks like. We got 48 on here right now. If all of you hit the like button, we'll drop the form. Go ahead, smash the like button. You don't have to do anything. Free means free. You could just hang out on here and watch this trade play out. As I'm watching this, damn, sellers don't want to take it, huh? Again, guys, I'm not going to drag yet on this one. This wasn't enough. We got close. We got real close. Real close. We come down and break this low. I am definitely dragging. If we come down to even test this low, the 33s, 25s, I'm dragging into profit aggressively behind price. I'll call out my trade management on that very clearly. But this wasn't enough. Almost enough. Just not quite there. Not quite there. Short from 62.39 and a quarter. Wanted to see this get closer to the 30s where I felt we were going to find some potential support, find some buyers down here. Don't know if we need to run all the way back up to the 50s and just make this a choppy day, if this is just going to be a sweep below and then back into consolidation, but this just was not quite enough. Let's go. What's doing, folks? I'm going to get my wife to hop on and like. You don't have to do all that, but there we go. You guys are running it up. We're going to get it. You guys are running it up. But straight to funded 50K account giveaway at 60 likes. We'll run this one. While I'm sitting in a short 1 ES mini from 62.39. Stop at 62.49 and a quarter. Excuse me, short from 62.39 and a quarter. Really not playing out just yet. Not playing out just yet. Let's see. Watching Bookmap on this bad boy. Yeah, if I wanted to take CVD into account heavily, for those of you that watch the DOM, that watch a cumulative volume delta, this is looking pretty good. We are continuing to show a declining cumulative volume delta, sitting at 7,700, 7,600 right now. But we've obviously had some buyers step in down here, not wanting to let this thing continue lower. I'm going to stay patient. And again, there's a lot of axioms. Don't let a winning trade turn into a losing trade versus hold on to your winners. Don't choke up. Let your trade breathe. And hindsight capital can always, can always be 2020, right? You could always say there was some better way for me to manage that specific trade. The part of me getting more consistent and mechanical with my trading is allowing the stats to play out, right? Just allowing them to play out, whether I have to watch this one come all the way back on me from being around that 6 points in profit. I've choked up on some of these a little bit too tightly. Right when I hopped into these straight to funded accounts, I've choked up on a couple of them too tightly, right into like break even. And they would have paid. They would have paid really nicely had I just stayed a little bit more patient, wait for the area that I'm really waiting for some continuation from. So I'm attempting to do that. Pretty damn mechanical with the stop loss placement and the drag into profit. But that does mean going to have days where things come back on me. There's going to be days still where I drag into profit and I still get stopped out too quickly. And if I hadn't touched stop loss at all, it would have continued. Never going to be right, never going to be perfect every single day, every single trade. And that's not the goal. Just slightly more often than not, something that works well for your approach, right? That's kind of the goal. What works well over 50 trades, 100 trades? 1 mini equals 10 micros. Correct. 1 mini does equal 10 micros. Sellers not driving it lower. Not driving it lower just yet. Price still chasing this 1,000 lot order, getting spoofed around. Back up to the 42.5 where we do have quite a bit of orders. Not a ton of volume out of that. Not a ton of volume, but if we continue to the upside, this is going to continue to look worse. Couldn't continue lower. VWAP still holding, but this is choppy overall. Still ranging, and now we've swept the low and pulled all the way back up. So this could get ugly pretty quickly. But that's part of it. Put my trades on fearlessly. Take my stop, take my take profit, take my break even, take whatever. Not do anything crazy. Move on to the next day, right? Move on to the next trade, I should say. Let's see. I think today is a good day for afternoon trades. Going to focus on my actual job for a bit. Yeah, check the charts later. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Some of these NYSE sessions have been like this, just choppy, difficult to work with off of the open. And then something sets up for later into the afternoon, like really, really clean. We start to get a nice trend developing. We start to get some direction. But yeah, I like the open. For some reason or another, I like the open. That's my preferred time. So I show up here every day to trade with you guys. So here we go. Back to the middle of this consolidation. We've really just been hanging out at these 6240s all morning. If we continue to drive higher, right, we come back up through these 45s. It's going to look like a stop out. Conversely, we sell off right through these lows. Going to look really good. Going to look really, really good. So in the trade, going to be a win or a stop out, right? Simple as that. Small win, larger win, or a stop out. That's pretty much it. Let's see where we're at on likes. 45 likes, 48 likes, 49 likes, 48 likes. Somebody unliked it. You guys are almost there. 60 likes. We will drop a straight to funded account. I'm giving away multiple of these bad boys. I know I yap about it a lot. There we go. 50 likes. You guys are getting it done. Multiple 50K account giveaways. We are running this every week on the stream. Fun to do, really awesome. Shout out Top 1 Futures. I used to love to get some free stuff when I was hanging out on people's live streams. Helps me, helps you, maybe, if you can actually trade. I don't know how much it's going to help you if you can't trade, but feel free to hop on. Feel free to hop on and grab that. And if you want to just check out Top 1 Futures, I'll drop this one in there again. Code RDF gets you the best deal. Boom. 55% off ends tomorrow. Ends tomorrow. I think they're going to run something on 4th of July, but if you want to check it out, this is a solid one right here, right now. Come back over to the main chart. While I'm sitting around break even and you guys are trying to run the likes up, there you go. You're getting there. 53 likes. We're getting close. We're getting close. Can we do it? Let's see what we got. Back down to entry. Can sellers take this bad boy lower? Wanting. I don't know what that means, but maybe you can rephrase it. I think you meant waiting. Can sellers take this lower? That's the question. I'm watching this, man. Choppy right here. Got people getting involved in both sides. You know, this could just be this last day of the month crap. Last day of this quarter. I'd like to see it sell off. I'd like to see this correction down towards the gap fill. Again, I'm not looking for anything crazy. I'd start getting real cautious around those 30s, but would give me a way to structure risk. Let's see. We got 500 on the book. We got to try to get through right here. Let's see. There's some volume filling. Can we continue? Can sellers drive this bad boy lower? Let's see. Again, guys, watching Bookmap. If you are a cumulative volume delta person, again, starting to talk a little bit more about that. Friday was a really interesting day. We were talking about it in Discord, watching it just continue to climb on cumulative volume delta. Multiple people noticed it, and I was like, yeah, dude, I haven't seen one of these, like really negative, like negative 15,000 from the morning, and lo and behold, we sold off. You know, so it kind of fit that bill of CVD playing into, what's really going on. Sellers outweighing buyers by way of volume. Again, I don't rely too heavily on any one thing. I really like to focus on price action and market structure. That's my core. Volume tools around that. I think CVD would line up with a volume tool, right? Cumulative volume delta, and then order flow on the right hand side. But that's just an interesting one that's been on my Bookmap chart for forever. Here we go. 36.5. Sorry, I'm staring at Bookmap. Here we go to the downside. Let's see. Let's see. Good game. We smashed those likes. Oh, did you guys hit it? Oh, look at that. Good game. You guys did smash those likes. You know what time it is? All right, guys, if this sells off, just bear with me because I'm going to try to manage the trade. I've jacked up a couple of good trades, hanging out, trading live with you guys here because I'm trying to do what I'm doing right now, which is like copy a link and drop a form. So just bear with me, but I'm going to throw it in the chat right now. Hang on one second. I'm not going to put the banner up because giveaway form. Hang on, because I'm watching this. Boom. You guys smashed it. Giveaway form is live. Let me just make sure that posts across socials. Hang on one second. No, it doesn't. It didn't. How do I do this? Okay, hang on. Paying attention to the trade. We got a trade playing out. Let's see. Getting ready to drag guys down on this one, and then I will get you all the form. Everybody just chill out. I'm not going anywhere. The form's in one of the chats. I will make sure I get it to everybody. Here we go. Trying to break this low for another time here. I'm getting ready to drag into profit. Again, like I said, sticking to my guns. I want to see this continue down into this 6.5, 7 point range right here to break this low and start to drag this bad boy into profit. Finger on the trigger to do that. I'd like to see a sell-off into the 30s. This is looking pretty good. Not there yet. I will, if it turns from right here, I did my job. I cannot drag it yet. I said almost. There we go. Okay, now I'm right behind this price. Very aggressively, right at the lows, dragging behind. I want to see this continue or get stopped out right here.
Order filled.
There we go. Dragged super, super aggressively as we break these lows. This looks good, but that's my play. Right behind price. As we break that, I want to see this absolutely sell off, waterfall. Or I think we come back up and we continue doing what we're doing, in which case I did what I was supposed to do. Out for 309.70 across a 7-pack of accounts. There we go, guys. Simple as that. It's been solid in these. Not trading anything crazy, not trading them with a ton of risk, just slowly and consistently. And I'll talk about that. I'm going to talk about what I see out of the prop firm industry before we all hop off of this. and we'll get this giveaway rolling. I'll give you guys some sauce. So, all right, form is live. Let me make sure I can get this here. Hang on one second, guys. Giveaway form is live, but not for everybody. So hang on one second. Hang on one second. Nobody ripped my head off. Giveaway form is live on YouTube. We are going to put it live everywhere because we're streaming across multiple platforms. Real Deal Futures is coming everywhere, guys. We're all over the place. We're streaming 100% free everywhere. So let me just go ahead and get this done for y'all. Boom. Want to get this in X and make sure it's also on Kick and all over. Let's see. Nope, not yet. Why is it not working for me? Nice. We could talk about that trade. Quick W. Nothing wrong with that. There we go. All right. I'm going to give you guys about 10 minutes. Give you guys about 10 minutes to get this form filled out here. Nice. Look at that. Continuing to sell off towards the 30s. Awesome. Let me go ahead and throw this up here. It's giveaway time, guys. Form is in the chat. Go ahead and get this one filled out. Let me get rid of that banner. We will give you guys about 10 minutes. Let's say until 10:50 a.m. to get that one filled out. Let's call it 11. We'll see if we don't get something else that sets up. Got a bunch of people on here, man. Feel free, get that form filled out. If you don't want to, you don't have to do anything. You do whatever you want to do. Free means free. Shout out Top One Futures for helping me give back, man. I wish I win. Yeah, W, done. Giveaway time. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hang out on here, guys, so you can claim it. If you got the form filled out, feel free to hang out about 10, 15 minutes. This way you can claim it. But giveaway is live. What's up? Oh, there we go. What's up? Yeah, you guys are cranking out responses. Awesome. I see it rolling in. Sweet. Yeah, man. While we're doing that, I posted some reels, some different stuff on just talking about prop firms because I see a lot. Someone asked what sim farming was. I see a lot of different stuff going on in the space, and I think it's important just to yap about it every once in a while. Not in the drama type of way, but just in the what I think a good opportunity is and what is not a good opportunity. So my game plan going forward, and a little bit of an adjustment that I've made, is I am still trading props. I have a 7-pack of these straight to sim funded pro account 150Ks with Top One. I have a 3-pack of the original instant funded accounts with Top One. I have 5 Top Step XFAs and past combines. So I'm not going anywhere on prop, but I'm also loaded up with a live cash account. I'm testing some different, I'm probably going to test different brokers, but I'm testing some different platforms to get exactly what I want. Obviously, I can't trade on Project X if I wanted to in a live account. I don't like TradingView for actually executing, so I'm actually working with MotiveWave. But here's my thought process. Plot twist, guys. Lo and behold, you actually have to trade well in order to continue trading with prop firms. And what do I mean by that? A lot of guys come to props, and I started to feel myself look to go down this road. If you have some capital, if you have some money to work with, you can start to trade really aggressively, right? And burn more accounts than you should on the way to maybe taking larger and more frequent payouts. That is not going to play at all going forward. From what I've seen, I see a lot of exploitation and just straight up sim farming. So what is sim farming? Coming to, let's say, Top Step, right? Here's a prime example of what not to do. Coming to Top Step and saying, I'm just going to YOLO combines until I pass them, straight up full port, 15 lots or whatever it is, 5 lots, until I pass. And then day one of the XFA, I'm going to YOLO the XFA on news or whatever it is, and I'll blow a lot of them. But eventually one of them's going to hit, and then I'll trade slowly. I'll flip it until I get to my nice $5,000 payout, or maybe $25,000 payout if you're copy trading 5 of these. And that can be lucrative, right? You can make money. Is that actually trading? Is it anything that's going to work in the live market environment? No, it's just exploiting an arbitrage, maybe not an arbitrage, but a loophole, and being able to come to the table with way more capital than you really need to, and just leveraging that, the ability to hit the reset button. There's a whole lot of other stuff that goes on, games guys run, hedging across accounts, group hedging, a whole bunch of this type of stuff. But the thought process here is I encourage you not to get caught up in the sim game because I'm watching it come to an end. Some firms are more okay with this than others from what I've seen. Some farms are just straight up sim farming bucket shops, right? And there is no live traders. There's no path to live. And, their rules are their rules. And if you play by the rules, maybe you can get to a payout, maybe. Other firms, see Top 1 Futures, are looking to vet traders and reward them in the sim environment on the way to live accounts. But if you are just ripping through accounts and you make it to a couple payouts, there's a good chance that they're going to say, good game. I'm glad you were able to make some money. You didn't do anything that was reasonable or gives us a reason to believe that you would be able to trade well in an actual singular account. You made it to payouts hitting the reset button a lot of times, and we're not going to put you in a live account. Or we're going to evaluate you further, right? Or we're going to limit what you're doing, right? And we've seen this also with firms like Top Step and a lot of others. We've seen payout caps tighten. We've seen limitations on the amount of purchases, or people get flagged a lot quicker that are doing that. And it's for that reason. So I think it's important to note, what do I think? And this might, again, I'm biased, I'm partnered, I'm affiliated with Top 1. In my opinion, what I'm telling you doesn't behoove me, because if I told you just YOLO accounts, just sim farm it, go crazy, I'd probably make more money doing that. I don't think prop firms are a great opportunity for guys that want to trade wildly aggressively and just rip through accounts on the way to payouts. I think you're going to get banned from all of them. And I also think you're going to shrink the opportunity for undercapitalized traders, guys that are learning, people that actually want to try to leverage prop firms to learn how to trade well, and do that consistently. So I don't think it's a great opportunity for that. I think it's a good opportunity if you want to trade well, or at least attempt to, if you want to learn slowly, if you can trade well and you want to leverage prop firms in a realistic way, but not just YOLO accounts like crazy or rip through them. Because if you do the latter, I don't think you're going to make it long. I don't think you're going to be put in live accounts. Again, I can speak on other firms. I saw a lot of traders arguing about a separate firm, not Top Step or Top 1 Futures, that had live traders that have made it live, blown the live account very quickly, and then are not able to trade with them anymore. I think that's up to the firm. I don't think there's inherently anything wrong with that. I think in a lot of those cases, the guys exploited the sim environment. They kicked them live. As soon as they got to the live, they dumped the account intentionally or unintentionally because they're not able to actually trade well. And now they want to go right back into the sim world to run the same game. It's not sustainable. It's just not sustainable. So again, I'm not saying all prop firms are angels. I'm not saying the community does not need to speak up for traders that are due payouts, that are being wronged. I keep my finger on that pulse consistently, and I talk to a lot of different traders, especially with Top 1 Futures that I watch very, very closely because I'm trading with them, I'm talking about them, I'm partnered. But at the same time, watch who you're rallying behind. We watched it happen in the Top 1 Discord where the guy had the whole Discord up in arms. This is a specific case, right? But this is cautious. And I've rallied behind sim farmers not knowing what they were doing. But there was a guy that had everybody up in arms because he was being reviewed. They didn't pay him out quickly. He's arguing and saying, I hope I get reviewed. What's going on? Asking every day. Everybody's asking for him. What's happening? This isn't right. Turns out the dude blew almost 300 accounts, funded, just straight YOLOing full port on the way to taking a couple payouts and got reviewed. Meanwhile, they actually paid him out, which in my humble opinion, I don't think you need to pay out sim farmers, but actually paid him out and said, good game, you're banned. But that's what's going on behind some of this stuff. I'm not saying that's what's happening for everybody, and I'm not saying that people maybe aren't going to, constantly make it to payouts without blowing accounts. It's not what I'm saying at all. But there's a game being played in Simland, and I think if you're not cautious and you stay on props, again, even myself, I felt it with Top Step because that's what I thought. That's what I thought the right way was. And I also think it's incorrectly marketed. A lot of just super aggressive sim farming is marketed as good trading. What we're seeing from, some prop firms, again, it's not all on the traders themselves, is just not the right way to go about it. But what I'm encouraging you guys to do is, if you say, I can copy trade 7 accounts with top 1 or 3 accounts on the standard stuff, and I would have to trade these pretty slowly if I didn't want to blow them. And that's not a good opportunity for me. I want to be able to rip through these accounts. They're not expensive for me. I'm going to trade them really aggressively. I don't think that's a good thing to do. Don't think it's a good opportunity. I think it's probably best that you just go into a live account with your own cash personal money and trade that aggressively. If you are learning, if you don't have you're undercapitalized, if you're well capitalized like me and you still think it's a really good opportunity to leverage other people's money, and you can slow your ass down and trade accounts slowly the way that I am here with you guys, with the goal of making it to payouts whenever you make it to them, and maybe actually making it to a live account, because when you get considered for a live account, they look at your trading and they say, wow, good job. You actually traded in a consistent way. Maybe you lost an account here and there, but we could see the attempt was made to trade very slowly and consistently in a way that would make sense if this was your, the money that you didn't want to lose. Then I think it's a solid opportunity. So again, I'm partnered, I'm affiliated, I'm biased, but I'm speaking as a trader. And I think to other traders, to try to prevent them from going down the becoming a great sim farmer, becoming a good game. And I'm happy to see some other traders talk about this. The game's going to go away, and then what? Trading's never going away, right? As long as there's financial markets, in my opinion, we might be trading some crazy crypto money or whatever it is. Trading's not going away. But in my opinion, the sim farming game is changing. It's going away. We're watching it change. I watched a lot change in Forex and CFDs. If prop firms went away tomorrow and that's all you knew how to do, you'd be behind guys that were actually taking the time to learn how to actually trade, right? Which I think should be the goal, right? You want to be able to manage your own money, maybe along with props, or just get off of props altogether one day. You want to be able to manage, investment accounts. That's risk management and actually trading, right? So that's my thought. But so that's my long comment, right? My long rant. So, all right, here we go. Let's see. We've got a lot of comments on this. What is the meaning of YOLO? You only live once. YOLO would be like if I just right now hit 15 contracts short, and I'm either going to blow the account right now or I'm going to hit a max day for myself. What happens to your account if they reject you for a live? I don't know. Everything is handled individually, right? YOLO. YOLO. Everything's handled individually, right? So I think if you get considered for a live account, the same thing that happens at most firms, if they didn't catch you on the front end and they sim farm, because Kim, I saw your comment. I'm going to comment on that. If they didn't get you on waiting for the giveaway. Giveaway's coming, guys. 11 o'clock. That's when we'll run it. If you didn't get caught on the front end, you did something crazy, I think they could do a number of things. They could just ban you out right there. They could pay you and then say, good game, you're done. They could evaluate you further, right? And we've seen a lot of traders. We've actually seen that at a lot of different firms, right? They can continue to evaluate you further, right? Put you in a single account, that type of stuff. But it's individual. I believe it's individual. I've only blown accounts that I don't understand the rules. Yeah, happens. I appreciate what props have to offer, but I cannot wait to be in a position to trade my own account. Yeah, absolutely. Ton of opportunity in a live account. And I just put out a video, honestly, again, as somebody that trades with props and is and also has quite a bit of live accounts, not in the future space, which I'm excited to be working on. I put out a video kind of comparing and contrasting. But yeah, there's no rules in your live account except for the rules that you put on yourself and brokerage, rules and margin limits. There's no worried about being, approved or not for a payout. It's available instantly to you, right? A lot of different things. So, But yeah, so the fact that top one let him get to the point is an issue as well. For sure. So I absolutely agree with that, right? And what we're seeing is a lot of these firms continuing to have to catch up with sim farmers, with loophole exploiters. Absolutely. Like I said, prop firms aren't angels. A lot of the responsibility is on the firm. What I believe will start to happen if people continue to run these games, which they will, and especially if we say, you guys figure it out, let them run the game, and it comes down to the rules. The rules are going to be so tight that it's not going to be a good opportunity. The opportunity will continue to diminish. Prices are going to go up. Rules are going to get tighter and tighter and tighter, and to prevent it from happening. We're going to be extremely limited. I think, copy trading will be diminished. We will not be able to buy more than one account, for a long period of time, that type of stuff. So, but yeah, I agree. I think it's very important to catch that early on, right? Damn, I only blew fork. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Did you sell ES a few minutes ago? Yeah. Yep. One trade short. You can go back. These are all recorded. Everything stays up. One trade short on ES was my play. But yeah, guys, that's my comments. Again, I think it's an interesting topic, and I 100% understand that I'm saying this coming from a biased standpoint, right? Somebody that makes money with prop firms. I'm also saying it from a trader standpoint who doesn't want to see the futures prop firm space go away, because I want to utilize it as well. But, make your own decision on this stuff. Grain of salt it. But one thing that I can tell you, very clearly, that I think should be pretty obvious. If you're not going to attempt to trade well in props, you can turn a profit, a pretty nice profit. And it's not that it's so easy to do, but you're not going to last with them. They're going to identify what you're doing, and they're going to say, this isn't a trader that's actually trading. They are exploiting this sim environment, and they're not going to get moved to a live account, and we're not going to keep them in sim. Across firms is what we're continuing to watch happen. So that's my thought process. Love your approach and honesty, Zach. Yeah. All right. You know what time it is, guys. You guys waited patiently. We got a bunch of people on here. Last chance. Form is in the chat. Get this one filled out. Damn, we don't even have that many people that filled it out. We got way more people watching than filled it out. I'm running this stream across platforms. We got a lot of people watching, so this is interesting. All right, you guys got a great chance of winning, man. Here we go. Form is gonna get ready to get closed out. Last chance, get it filled out. Ready? And go ahead and throw your lucky number in the chat. Here's the deal. If you win and you hit your lucky number, I'm going to also give you $100 cash. I think it'd be crazy for somebody to do it, but go ahead, throw your lucky number. It is between 1 and 56. 57. 1 and 57, unless anybody else sneaks in here. Let me go ahead and shut this off. Crazy, because half you guys didn't fill it out. All right, more chance for the 56 people on here. But between 1 and, excuse my language, 1 and 57. That's going to be the random number generator. We're going to get ready to roll this. We got a bunch of numbers in the chat. Again, guys, this is for a straight to funded Sim Pro 50K account. Somebody's going to get funded right here, right now. If you spammed the form, if you filled it out under your sister's and your brother's email, you're not going to win. The only thing that you're going to do is make sure that you don't win in the future. So you guys have been pretty cool with that. Nobody's really ruined it yet. So I commend you. We've got a great community here. Good chat. Let's see. Guys are still spamming it with numbers. Nice. Remember, if you call out the number... No, Wolf, did you fill out the form? What the hell, man? Will, fill the form out. Wolf, fill the form out, man. What do you mean you missed the form? It's been up for like 30 minutes. All right. Random number generator is up. Here we go. We are looking for between a number 1 and 57. 2 and 57, because 1 doesn't count. Nobody is number 1. All right, let me make sure I get this right. We're good. I do it old school. And I take a screenshot. This is random, guys. I don't pick my friends. You could ask people that have been on here. And Wolf, you get an entry. All right. We're going between 1 and 58. Since Wolf decided to come late to the party, even though he was here. What were you doing, bro? You're sleeping. We're going between 1 and 58. Wolf, your number can be 58 in case that one hits. You're gonna be the last man on. You see, look how nice I am, right? Wolf's here every single day and is very mad that he never wins, but he's a good example that this is indeed random and I don't pick my friends. Otherwise, I probably, even though I don't know Wolf and I don't know that I call him my friend, but maybe an internet friend, probably would have picked you because you complain so damn much. All right, here we go. Random number generator. Sorry, guys. Random number generator. Between 2 and 58. Lucky number today is, drum roll, lucky number 3. Wow, that one came up tight. Lucky number 3. Somebody that filled it out very quickly on the front end. YouTube username is Pali. P-A-L-I. I'm going to say your first name on here is Gabor. G-A-B-O-R. Or Gabor. I don't know how to say your name, the rest of it, and I'm not going to dox you. Congratulations, Polly. First name, Gabor or Gabor. I don't know exactly how to say it. I apologize. Lucky number 3. Let's see if this person actually called it out real quick. See if what was the username again? Polly. Let's see if this person's on here. Oh, you called out 6. Holy, you actually called out a pretty tight one, man. Wow. Or woman. Sorry, I don't mean to say man every time. There you go. You're the winner of a 50K instant funded account. You got close. There you go. We're going to keep running the random number thing. Because that's fun to do. And somebody will eventually get it. I'm going to like up it. I think I'm going to make it more money. Because when somebody hits that, I think it's going to be really fun to win. Let's see. Did anybody... Yeah, I can't even see that far up. I have to scroll through. Nice. Damn close. Yes. All right, guys. I'm going to, Polly, you're going to get the email straight from Top 1 Futures to the email. I'll reach out to you as well. Back to the markets real quick. Remember, guys, I run these. We have a short week. Here, I'll give you guys the quick insider info. Short week. There's no stream on Friday, maybe none on Thursday. We did one giveaway today. I say we have multiple. It's random days, random times, the way we did it today. Hop on here the next couple days. You probably got a really good chance of also being able to win a straight to funded account with Top 1. If you want to check these out yourself, you don't want to wait to try to win something. Link is in the chat. You can check it out. Code RDF gets you the best deal, 55% off. Ends tomorrow. Up to 5 sim funded, straight to funded sim pro accounts. I think it's going to drop to 25% after today. I'm going to assume they're going to run something for 4th of July, as a lot of companies do. But if you don't want to wait, this is up here, right now. And again, I don't know what they're going to run, right? They've done these in a promotional way, right? The amount of accounts that you're able to copy trade, adding on things to the rule set, like, no daily loss limit, widening out some of the stuff. So if you want to check it out, link is in there. Remember, I'm partnered, I'm affiliated, I stand to make money, I can't stand to be unbiased. Guys, this was fun. I appreciate you hopping on. 1W. Welcome back to the win show, right? We took an L on, actually we went 1 for 1. We took an L on Friday and then came back for half. Covered the loss today with just one simple contract, short, one trade, nothing crazy. Not a whole lot out of these markets, but was able to get in short and grab a little bit of profit. Happy with that exit because we didn't continue to sell off to the 30s, so kind of just chopping here, drifting lower. We'll see what the market's got for us. If I'm looking at anything else, maybe I'll yap to you guys in Discord. We'll take a look at that. I'll throw the Discord in here real quick. 100% free trading Discord, not a VIP feeder program, no course, no fun stuff like that. Boom. Appreciate you guys being on. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing you see or hear from me here or anywhere else, suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. I'm just an idiot here yapping on YouTube and wherever else I'm streaming for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that I was just talking about that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content. Talk to you guys soon. Hope to see you in the Discord. Link is in the chat. Yeah, we did the giveaway. Number 28. I just spam in the chat. We did the giveaway. So hope to... Yeah, winner already picked, guys. All right, hope to talk to you guys soon. Thanks for hopping on. Trade well the rest of the day. See you tomorrow here and everywhere else, 9:30 a.m. Eastern.